Welcome to Plano's Political Pitbull Podcast. I am Esther.
And I'm Ruth.
And today we have some Plano news for you and some international news. First, let's talk Plano. On the June 9th Plano City Council meeting, the City Council repealed all of their building codes and adopted international codes. Every single one of them, it seems like. So first, they had the consent agenda, where they repealed their fire codes and adopted the international fire codes. Then they moved on to the International Property Maintenance Code, which they adopted, and the International Plumbing Code. Did you know there was an International Plumbing Code?
Of course there is.
I didn't know this. And the International Mechanical Code and the International Fuel Gas Code.
Of course there's these things. You gotta have an international group code thing for everything. You don't know this?
No, I didn't know this. Then, so that was just the consent agenda, folks. Then they actually got to the public hearing where they adopted the International Building Code and the International Residential Code. So why am I bringing this to you all? First of all, I'm conflicted. So on the one hand, the positives. It's good to have a uniform code for these things because architects, construction folks, they can't learn every single solitary code in every single solitary town. It would be too cumbersome and frankly impossible. So to have a standard that was at least, let's say, statewide, I could even go as far as national, I can kind of understand. I can understand this because then, a construction company in Richardson could easily do construction in Plano or Allen or wherever, as long as they've also adopted the international codes as well. My question is, are these international codes better? Number one. Are they less burdensome? Are they more burdensome? Are they safer? Do we get to plug in our own stuff? I know that there was some debate over the fire code, and they added something extra in there for the firemen. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? What say you, Ruth?
What do you mean by plug things in?
Add things of their own. So for in the fire, I believe what they said was the code, the international code had the oxygen tank, the big tanks that the firefighters wear. They had them, I think, had a certain amount of air in it, and the Plano Fire Department wanted to increase it. They said it's not enough. I think that was it, if memory serves me correctly. So they increased it. It didn't go quite along with the code.
I think having a unified code does make it easier for the construction workers. They don't have to learn a whole new set of rules for every single town or state they go to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which can be really difficult and annoying and just waste of time.
Cumbersome, yeah.
Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah, I get that. But a lot of times, construction workers are licensed in states. I don't know. It makes sense to me to have a statewide code be the same, because most construction companies are not national. You know, a plumber can't pick up and go to another state necessarily without first getting his license in that state, depending on the state rules, learning the state's rules and their codes. So it's not, yeah, you could go from town to town within a state, but it's a little more difficult to go from state to state.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand having a code statewide. Having one internationally?
Well, you said they're adopting these rules, these codes that are also done internationally.
Yes.
Right? That's what's happening.
Yes.
So.
I don't know, I'm conflicted.
Well.
There was an architect who came and he spoke on these items. And he said that, I mean, this is his business, this is his area, and he said that it's great to have one set of rules for everyone. Now, obviously, not every town is going to adopt these. Not every town even updates their codes on a regular basis.
Updates.
Yeah, updates their codes on a regular basis. So it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to fix everything and make it universal. But he was in support of it. So just something to mull over, you know. I am usually opposed to universal anything. I don't like it. It's again a one size fits all solution, which I don't agree with. I can understand in this case why you would want to do it, so that you would have one set of rules for each town, but Richardson may not do this. Allen may not do this. Frisco may not do this.
Well, it's a choice.
It is a choice. It's about local control.
It's not like the state is saying, hey, we're going to adopt these specific rules for every town.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that. And also, how different can
what be? Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are a fire code. What would need to be different from town to town? Why would that not be why could we not have a one-size-fits-all for that? Or like construction rules?
Well, I would imagine if you were a rural town, you would have probably different needs, shall we say, than if you were a town with 30-story buildings. You know?
Okay, what about plumbing? How different is that from wherever you go?
I have no idea.
I'm just asking.
I don't know. It's, like I said, I'm a little torn. Generally speaking, I don't like one size fits all. But I can understand why it might be a good idea in this case to have a one size fits all.
I don't think we have enough information.
No. I mean, I did not go and look all the codes. I probably wouldn't even understand half of them. I can tell you that when my house was built, I would like to know who the inspector was. because the things I've found over the years that I've lived in my house that were not up to code when I found them and not up to code when the house was built would shock you. So these codes are, they can be great, but if the inspector isn't inspecting it properly and is passing it when it should fail, then they're not going to help one iota. So
might as well just throw them in the trash at that point.
Yeah. So it's good to have, but the enforcement, now that's the key. All right. Moving on to something entirely different. The city of Plano has a YouTube channel. Did you know this? The city of Plano has a YouTube channel.
No, I did not.
Why in the world does any city need a YouTube channel?
Why does any city need a Twitter account?
I don't know, but they apparently all have them. So, they have a YouTube channel. And they put out a lovely piece of what I would like to refer to as propaganda.
Oh boy. Okay.
This kind of popped up in my notifications. And I'm going to play this video. It is about 2 minutes long.
Do you mean your recommended? Not your notifications?
Yeah.
The notifications would be you are already subscribed.
Yeah, it came up in my recommendations.
Okay.
It was a lovely piece of propaganda. It's about 2 minutes and 11 seconds long. And it is about the Infrastructure Collin Creek 2025 update.
Are you going to play it?
I'm going to play it. I may stop it to comment in between.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's fair.
Okay, here we go.
This is Collin Creek's 100-acre, 2,000-space underground parking garage, which is nearing completion. A tax increment reinvestment zone created by the city helped pay for it. Tax increment financing is a tool local governments use to speed up large development projects, reinvesting revenue growth into the zone. The city created 2 public improvement districts, or PIDs, on the Collin Creek site. One is for commercial development, the other for residential. Okay, so I stopped the tape because I'm aging myself. I said, tape, stop the video, because I just want to go over what the man said. He is talking about something we have gone over here at our channel. Tax increment financing zones, and something new we have not gone over yet, PIDs, Public Improvement Development.
The TIVs and the
PIDs.
PIDs.
The TIVs and the PIDs. PIDs, yes. Also known as economic fascism, public-private partnerships, corporate welfare.
The city council disagrees with you.
Horrible ideas that we have here, where money from that zone, if we're talking about the tax increment financing zones, stay in that zones. PIDs are a little different, and he's going to get into a PID. But basically, this was to spur on and help out the developer to redevelop Collin Creek. Tear down the mall and redevelop the Collin Creek mall area.
PIDs finance public infrastructure, including streets, sidewalks, and water and sewer lines. With a PID, bonds are sold to pay for the construction, with the property owners within the PID repaying the bonds over time. The city all...
So, just to clarify this, when those houses are built, they are going to have to pay extra taxes to repay the bonds that went to the infrastructure in that area. So their property tax bill is going to be exponentially higher than somebody who doesn't live in that zone. So they are going to be paying twice for this infrastructure. Once in their city property taxes and once for the extra taxes to repay those bonds. And I'll explain, actually he will explain why they will be paying twice in a moment.
Wait.
Yes.
If this is including bonds,
Mm-hmm.
and people in this specific zone are going to pay more than somebody else in another zone, then will these people have more of a say whether or not a development goes up?
Well, I don't think there's going to be much room in that area for any more redevelopment when this is done. I don't. It's going to be pretty cramped there.
Oh, you mean development's already begun?
Oh yeah.
So people have no say.
No, this was decided by City Council when a few years ago when they decided to rezone the Collin Creek Mall area for commercial, residential, businesses, apartments.
So maybe I'm missing something. But it just kind of sounds like to me that the council is like, we're going to decide that we're going to develop this zone, and then without your say, you don't get a say in this. We're just going to decide we're going to do this. And then we're going to make you pay extra for it.
So,
surprise.
Yeah, well, this is something that Anthony Riccidelli, when he was on council, actually wanted to make sure that people who were buying these new houses that were going up would know. So one thing they're doing in this new area, because the mall has been torn down, it is now flattened. Okay, no more mall left, to my knowledge. And houses are going up. Townhomes, single-family homes are starting to go up. Finally, they're actually breaking ground above ground. Everything before this was happening underground in this development, because this has been a few years now that this place has been under construction.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So the new homes are finally going up. They're actually now for sale. And they weren't there before. There was a mall there. So what Councilman Riccidelli wanted to make sure people knew before they bought these homes was that they would know, hey, on top of your city property taxes, you are going to have what I will call a PID tax. So you're going to be paying more than the resident who does not own a home in that area.
So this is just for the people who are going to live in the homes that they just built.
Yes.
Not for people who may live in the surrounding area.
Right.
Okay.
If only those that are going to live, I don't know what they're going to call this, just Collin Creek, I guess. Only those who are going to buy a house or buy property in that PID area, okay? But they're going to actually be paying twice, and he will tell you why in a moment.
Also spent $28 million using drainage bonds to rehabilitate the 40-year-old culverts that bring Spring Creek through and under the mall property. That work needed to be done regardless of the Collin Creek project. The total amount of public funds spent on the project is $97 million, or roughly 10%. The city share is about $50 million. Private funds comprise more than $853 million, or 90% of the total cost.
So public funds, our tax dollars, went to spend money on this project for the infrastructure. Technically underneath it, because Collin Creek, which is a creek, runs right underneath this development.
Oh, maybe that's why it took them so long to get the underground ready.
Yes, because it had to shore up everything because it was flooding.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to sink.
Yeah.
The ground was about to sink, and we had a new nice creek there again. They covered the creek to build the mall, and so I guess instead of opening it up again and having the creek, they decided, no, we're going to shore up everything.
We don't want water.
We don't want water there. But
water's not good.
We spent, all the taxpayers of Plano spent money on bonds to shore up this infrastructure. And now it's going to be paid, have to be paid back. So those folks who are going to be living there are going to pay back that part, plus any of the PID section bonds that are specifically going to the PID infrastructure.
Who's going to want to live there?
I have no idea. The townhomes there, I saw they're going for $500,000.
Oh, so rich people.
Yeah.
When it opened in 1981, the mall became a regional destination attracting shoppers from Oklahoma as well as locally. Regional malls like Collin Creek began dying because of competition from new malls, online retailing, and discount big box stores.
At the end of the day, we're going to be able to stand here and go, man, we did something really cool, that we were able to bring something to the market that's going to be unique, that a lot of people are going to be able to enjoy.
Without a public-private partnership, redevelopment of large-scale projects is often cost-prohibitive for investors. The city's partnership with the Collin Creek developer ensured it would come to fruition and breathe new life into a key area that is Plano's gateway from the south.
So obviously, I have a huge problem with that whole thing. Okay? Malls are not all dying. We talked about the North Park Mall and how that mall is hopping and vibrant, and those owners put stuff in there to entice people to come. The Galleria is not dying.
I think it's a little late to talk about the mall.
Stonebrook, yes, I know, but it's not entirely accurate what he said. Yes, malls started to lose money, but they didn't all just die. Collin Creek died because...
It was already dying?
I believe it was not managed properly, just like Willow Bend isn't being managed properly. And that's why it's dying. And I tell you right now, if there is a PID or a TERS that is created in that zone, I think I will blow a gasket. That's the first thing. The second thing is that I don't agree with him when he says that projects like this wouldn't have happened but for taxpayer money.
Like, we have all this thanks to you, the thing you didn't want in the first place.
Well, so people did want the mall to be redeveloped, especially those who live down there.
Nobody wanted to save it?
I don't know. I mean, there was when it was going under, and they decided to redevelop it into this now new thing that they're going to have there, into basically a mixed-use development. It's going to be the Legacy West of Middle Plano.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like Legacy West. It just reminds me too much of a city.
Yeah. I don't know if there's going to be such tall buildings. I mean, unlike Legacy West, they're going to have single-family homes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. They're not going to have, they've actually come back to planning and zoning and say, we don't want as many apartments. We'd like to put in some single-family homes. So that's a good thing. They're going with the times, at least, because apartments are not doing well right now. So they did want to do something to update this area because it was going downhill.
Okay.
I don't think the citizens thought and had any clue that, oh, we're going to pay for it? Oh, our tax money is going to help this developer pay for this project? I don't know if people had that idea.
Well, yeah, if the city is funding it, then yeah, you're funding it.
Well, no. They wanted somebody to come in and redevelop, change it, update it. Maybe they wanted somebody to bring life back into the mall. I'm not 100% sure. There was a lot of conversations going back and forth, a lot of different ideas. But what I don't think people realized is they would need a TIF zone and on top of that, a PID. They didn't see that coming. I guarantee you most people don't even know what these things are. I didn't know what these things were 3 years ago or 4 years ago. I have newly learned these terms and what they mean and how they are. We actually have a PID in the downtown area. And evidently the residents there are okay with it. So at least they are okay with it there. And they get a say. But the people who are going to buy these homes, they never had a say. And
well, they can say no to the home. They don't have to buy it.
Yes, if they realize and realize very astutely that this is what this public improvement development zone is, and it's going to cost you more.
Well, they would have to be informed. If they're not informed, then it's sleazy.
Yes. And I know former Councilman Anthony Riccadelli, he wanted to make sure it was in bold, big, bright, black letters that, warning, this is what you're getting. But unless it's on the real estate, in the real estate ad that you go and see with all the details, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, how many square feet, in a public improvement zone, you're going to be paying more taxes. They could go see it, fall in love with it, and it was only when they get to closing do they realize, oh, I'm paying a higher tax bill. I'm in a PID. What the heck is a PID?
Well, even public improvement development doesn't really tell you that you're going to be paying more.
No, it doesn't. You have to realize that you would have to know what that is and know that means that this developer took out bonds to pay for infrastructure, streets, sidewalks, and you're going to have to pay that, and they're passing that loan back onto you.
So why are you calling the video propaganda exactly?
Because I'm calling it propaganda because he, the narrator, makes it sound like this is a wonderful thing.
Well, yeah, they're trying to sell it. That's what an ad is.
But I don't think the city of Plano should be taking out ads highlighting a fascist concept.
Well, they don't think it's fascist.
Obviously.
You're the only one who thinks it's economic fascism. The amount of times you have told individual council members about this, and they've said, it's not economic fascism. No, it's not. It's completely different.
Why is it I have to educate adults?
You know I'm right.
I know you're right, and it's sad.
They don't see it as that.
Because what is the definition of fascism in economics? Public-private partnership.
Nobody knows that. When people hear fascism, all they think of is Nazis.
Nazis aren't even fascist. This drives me bonkers. You know that.
I know.
We've had these discussions before.
I know.
This drives me crazy because open up any economic textbook, Google Mussolini's fascism, and it's there. It's called corporatism. I don't understand why people mix these things up.
I don't know where the fallacy that the Nazis were fascist even came from.
So that I can understand somewhat, because Hitler and Mussolini were on the same side. No, number one. Number two,
Were they really?
Hitler very much admired Mussolini, even though they did not have the same economic beliefs, because Hitler was a socialist. In the Nazi Party, the Z actually stands for socialist. And he believed
the German word for it anyway.
Yes. He believed that you had to control the means of production. The state, the government needed to own the means of production, whereas the private citizen could not. In Mussolini's fascism, the government did not own the means of production. They did not own businesses. They regulated them to death. They told you everything that you had to do. They made public-private partnerships to help their chosen businesses that they liked to deal with all of these regulations that they were burdening these businesses on with. But economically, they're very different. Their means of violence was the same. Mussolini had his black shirts. They would go and they would terrorize Mussolini's opponents, anyone who spoke out against Mussolini.
And then Hitler had the brown shirts.
And Hitler had the brown shirts, exactly. They would go and they would terrorize Hitler's opponents. And obviously they were involved in Kristallnacht, which basically destroyed Jewish businesses, the Night of Broken Glass. And they were heavily involved in that. So the authoritarian, the dictatorial aspect of fascism and Nazism is the same. The brute force, the thuggery that went on is the same. But that's it. You know, Mussolini did not have concentration camps.
No.
Okay? Mussolini did not gas 6 million Jews. Now, he had his anti-Semitism. In Italy, still to this day, there are areas of towns in Italy that are walled off where Jews lived. So what the government did was, you know how Jews are, we kind of all live in the same area. So they walled off the Jewish towns or the Jewish areas, and they were like, "You have to stay here." So it was a ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
What similar to Germany that they had ghettos.
He probably stole that from Mussolini too.
Maybe. No, I have a feeling maybe
Is the other way
it
around?
was the other way around. I don't remember.
I think we've gone off the beaten path.
But the point is that they're not the same. They're different. Okay? Hitler and Mussolini were different, even though they were on the same side. But it still drives me bonkers that people get this confused. People mix this up. And they don't understand that whatever name you call it by, corporatism, economic fascism, I don't care. It's not capitalism. It's not free market economy. It is not the invisible hand. It is the government coming in and saying, we need to redevelop that. We need somebody to come in and tear this down for us. It's blight, and redevelop it. Let's get a friend over.
It's government acting like a business.
Yes. Well, government is a business, but they're teaming up with actual businesses that are in the marketplace.
Let's not call government a business. Let's not blur those lines.
True. I don't want to necessarily blur those lines. But government is in a business. But it's not a free market business. Obviously, I mean, you're not paying your taxes out of the goodness of your heart. It's by force. So this is not capitalism. And what would work better is capitalism, not whatever word you want to use for this. And I don't believe, and I am totally against using my taxpayer money to make that video.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I gotta pay for that. I gotta pay for them to do that video. If you are on YouTube, go to Plano City's YouTube channel. You will see it. It's quite professional looking. They've got pictures and graphics and the narration. It costs money to do.
Very corporate looking.
Yeah. I don't like that. Now, it makes the job of an educator harder because this is all misinformation, what that guy said.
It's misleading.
It's misleading. It's downright wrong. I mean, they'll pay for that, but they're arguing over whether or not they're going to pay for erosion in creeks that the city caused because the city added more concrete than the creeks could handle the runoff.
They have their priorities, you know? Art, infrastructure, development infrastructure.
Development infrastructure, not infrastructure. Yeah, development infrastructure.
So they have their main priorities is art and culture and development infrastructure. Everything else, who cares?
Yeah, let the poor resident who happens to live by a creek or in an HOA that has a creek pay $1 million for to mitigate the erosion that the city caused because it decided it wanted to put more development and more concrete, creating rainwater runoff that goes into these creeks that were not designed by nature to hold all this freaking water. But hey, we'll help out the Collin Creek developer. Forget about the homeowner who was here first. Well, I think we do not have the time to speak in detail about the international topic I wanted to talk about. Mm-hmm. But I will briefly go over it. If you have been living under a rock for the past couple of days now, Israel and Iran are at war.
Shocker.
Yeah. Israel destroyed Iran's nuclear sites. Iran has been trying to build a nuclear weapon for decades. And every time Israel thinks Iran is getting close to achieving this, Israel takes out the site. Mm-hmm. Because when Iran's leader says death to Israel, Israel believes him.
Well, it's a bit of a gamble whether you're not.
Yeah, they're really close.
That's a bit of a gamble on your people, you know. Yeah. Like, gee, these guys who hate us are developing a nuclear weapon. I wonder if they're going to use it on us. Should we take that chance?
I don't think so. So this time, though, Israel also killed the nuclear scientists behind the program and some top generals.
Okay.
Iran's solution to this was to drop rockets on Tel Aviv, a very dense city, mm-hmm. killing innocent civilians. So Israel basically takes out the nuclear sites and the people responsible for making the nuclear weapons that they're trying to make, and the top leaders. Iran, on the other hand, decides, let's kill innocent civilians.
Well, they're all the same. They're like, it's a perfectly reasonable, I don't know what you mean, it's a perfectly reasonable response.
Please say do not. I have to cut out that pause.
Not.
Yeah, no, not.
I'm joking.
I know you're joking.
I thought it was clear that I was being sarcastic. I put on my sarcastic voice. Okay.
Gotcha. So, obviously, as Jews, we are watching this closely, and we pray for a peaceful resolution to this. One thing about having the Holocaust in our history is we very much do not want to go there again. We say never again. And Israel will not allow itself to be destroyed. The Jews will not willingly go to the gas chambers.
Or in this case, the bombs.
Or the bombs, we're not going to allow somebody to execute every single Jew ever again. And that's what Iran wants. When it says death to Israel, it doesn't just mean the Jews in Israel. Because first they'll go after Israel. Then they'll come after the rest of the Jews. Then after that, they'll go after you. They're not going to stop with the Jews. They never, ever do. I mean, Hitler he started with the Jews, but he also killed
The
Romanis, yes. Homosexuals, anyone
Black
with disabilities, if there were blacks in Germany. He felt that anyone who was not in his Aryan race was less than and was to be exterminated. He just started with Jews. Thankfully, he did not get to that next level.
Well, that's not true. He did kill a bunch of...
But he wanted to wipe everyone out, what I'm saying. He wanted everyone who wasn't a German Aryan was to be killed. I mean, it was
Yeah.
That was it. He didn't get to that level.
No, he did. A lot of Romani people, homosexual people, black people, they died.
Yes.
It wasn't the amount that it was of the Jews,
right?
But it was still a significant amount.
He didn't get to his utopia that he wanted of the...
You mean he didn't get to his global takeover?
Yes, that's it. Exactly. So he didn't see that. And mark my words, they will not stop with us. They will not stop with Israel. Because after Iran's...
They kill Christians too.
Yeah. After Iran's leaders say death to Israel...
They also say death to America.
That's the next thing they say. Death to America. So Israel is only the first stop. So that's why they can't have a nuclear weapon. I'm sure this will continue on when we tape our next episode, so we'll have more updates about it. For now, pray for a peaceful end on both sides. Because all human life, whether Iranian or whether Jewish, is sacred.
Even Israeli. There's not just Jews in Israel.
Oh, you are correct. I am sorry, yes.
There's Christians in Israel. There's Muslims in Israel.
Yes.
There's seculars in Israel.
You are correct. I will rephrase.
Especially in Tel Aviv.
Every Israeli and every Iranian life is sacred. Period. Our very important dog is Gemma. Gemma is a friendly dog who is almost 3 years of age. She is very sweet and oh so playful too. Gemma will make a great companion for you. She was never claimed by her owner and wants a new home. Gemma is an affectionate dog. She is at the Plano Animal Shelter. If you are interested in Gemma, please go to our website, planospoliticalpitbull.com, and click on the tab Pit Bulls for Adoption. Our sponsor is Southwest Pain Management. Southwest Pain Management takes care of most chronic pain without pain pills. Their goal is to get you back to doing the things you love. They are also the world's leading COVID experts. Dr. Groisman sees people from all over the world to treat their long COVID. Southwest Pain Management is in Plano. Please go there to their website, reliefbeginshere.com. Reliefbeginshere.com to see all that they do. That is all for us today. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is Esther.
And this is Ruth.
For Plano's Political Pitbull, signing off.